The political big three of the top political stories. Everyone's talking about it, so let's get to it. Day 3 of the Manafort trial has partisans racing to their corners, and Rudy Giuliani warning that the upcoming midterms are going to be all about impeachment. Ivanka Trump speaks out about the media and family separations. Would you be surprised to hear that she disagrees with her dad and his administration on these hot-button issues? And did the president misfire on the issue of guns from 3D printers? We know at least one of his most ardent supporters is furious, and you're about to hear why. Joining me now to discuss, conservative talker John Fredericks and Democratic strategist Basil Smikle. Welcome to both of you. I want to begin with Ivanka Trump. She sat down with Axios, and she parted with her father on a number of things, including the media and on family separations at the border. Let's listen.
That was a low point for me as well. I feel very strongly about that, and I am very vehemently against family separation and the separation of parents and children. So I would agree with that sentiment. I think immigration is incredibly complex as a topic. Illegal immigration is incredibly complicated. No, I don't. I certainly have. I can share my own personal perspective. I've certainly received my fair share of reporting on me personally that I know not to be fully accurate. So I've, I have some sensitivity around why people have concerns and gripe, especially when they're sort of feel targeted. But no, I do not feel that the media is the enemy of the people.
Okay, so she does not feel the media is the enemy of the people, and she said it was a low point for her to see those family separations at the border. So, John, Ivanka Trump, of course, is one of the president's advisors. What do you make of what she said?
Well, Ivanka Trump is right. She's spot on here, and she really represents the heart and the soul of this administration, while the president represents policy-driven initiatives that have been very effective and promises made and promises kept. But, Ivanka has 3 small children. She gets it. The original plan and policy at the border was to stop catch and release and to replace it with a zero-tolerance policy. And part of that means if you come over the border illegally, we've all been through this, and you get arrested, your children get separated from you, just like if you steal from a Wawa or from a 7-Eleven and your 3 kids are in the car and you're handcuffed.
So John, are you saying that Ivanka has the heart and soul and her father has no heart and soul?
Ivanka's right. No, I said that she represents the heart and soul of this administration, and President Trump is driving the policies that he feels are in the best interest of America. The policy at the border was zero tolerance to deter illegals from crossing the border. The way it was implemented was a complete mess. It was botched. They're still dealing with it today. They've stopped the process. They've got to find a better way. But the original idea was not, let's separate children. The original idea was people are coming over the border in record numbers. They're coming over illegally. We need to stop it. We're going to stop catch and release, which is not a policy. It's simply looking the other way. And so it got botched.
So, Basil, okay, so botched policy. To me, if Ivanka is an advisor to the president, Basil, wouldn't she have talked this out with her dad, or is she not part of those conversations?
One would think that would be the case. I mean, look at Jared. Jared Kushner is the secretary of everything, right? So these individuals have broad and have been reported to have broad policy influence with this president. And I will take the question you asked earlier. Even if Ivanka Trump is the soul of this administration, that implies to me that the policies coming out of the administration, particularly with immigration, have no soul. They have no sort of moral compass. It was meant to be a deterrent in the most sort of aggressive and in a way that was without heart. And that, to me, is what's so shocking about sort of her coming out now and talking about this, because it seems to be too little, too late. Families have already been separated, and there have been folks who've said that there's some children that they may never see their parents again.
Although, in fairness, we don't know what she said to her father behind the scenes.
That's
we
true.
Just don't know.
That's true.
Because she didn't say during that Axios interview. I do want to move on to the media part of what she said. She said she does not believe the media is the enemy of the people. Do you think, John, that she sits down with her father and says, you know, Dad, not the best thing to say, could be dangerous. I mean, the media had said rotten stuff about me too, but I don't believe that the media is the enemy. Does Ivanka Trump have those conversations with her dad?
I'm sure she does, and I'm sure he gets a lot of different opinions coming in from the people that he trusts, and I'm glad she's there, and I'm a big supporter of Ivanka being there. I think she's making a huge difference, and she needs to stay. Look, I'm a member of the media.
Name one huge
Carol,
difference
you're a
she's
member of the media.
made. What's
well,
one big difference she's made?
She's been behind some policies around work, around time of leave for moms. She's been crucial in that. And there's a lot of things that go on. Everything doesn't have to be in the public eye. There's a lot of advice and counsel that should go on that's not leaked, where you try to give the president different scenarios to make the best decision that he can. She does that quite often. Doesn't mean he's always going to take her advice.
Right, right. Basil, do you believe that Ivanka has great influence over her father and that some of his policies have been softened because of her?
Well, I'm going to answer that question by referring to something you said in the tease. She may have some influence, but I think what influences him more is when he goes to these rallies. I think they give him some energy. I think they give him some power to go ahead and continue to make the kinds of policies that we've been seeing coming out of the White House. So going back to an earlier point, she may be the soul of this particular White House, but where those policies come from are the places where Donald Trump feels the most emboldened, and that's on the road.
I do want to talk about 3D guns because, John, you have some strong feelings about that. I know it, and you're largely running Donald Trump's 2020 Virginia campaign for president. But when this 3D gun thing came down and the president said, I don't think that's a good idea, and he said he was talking to the NRA about it, but then the blueprint still wound up online. What are your thoughts on that and how the president may or may not have mishandled that topic?
Who the hell cares what the National Rifle Association thinks about this outrageous policy of being able to print handguns? I don't care what they say. They're a lobbying firm. They think they have all this power with everybody. They just endorsed a candidate in Georgia that got crushed. And Governor Scott in Florida, who banned gun sales for people under 21 years old, the NRA blasted that, and he's going to win that Florida Senate race in an upset. He's now pulled ahead. So I don't really care what the NRA says, and quite frankly, I'm sick of them. The bottom line is we have a right in the I'm a Second Amendment supporter, right to bear arms, not to make arms out of plastic, where children, teenagers, can blow their hand off, where they're not registered. This is the most insane thing, no common sense I have ever seen in my life. I'm a resident of Virginia.
Let me ask you this about the president. Because the president seems to buy whatever the NRA is selling, frankly.
He should go back to his instincts and do what he thinks is the right thing to do, which he said at the end of the tweet, which is it doesn't really make any sense. As a resident of Virginia, I can't buy a bottle rocket or a firecracker for the 4th of July because that's Virginia law. Can't do it, can't have them. But now 15 and 16-year-olds can buy a $2,500 3D printer or get one from mom and dad in the basement and make a handgun, go to Walmart, get the ammo.
Basil, I'll get you in 1 second. Just because John has sway with the president, because he's part of the president's re-election campaign. So, John, if you were to say something directly to President Trump, would you say that now, on air?
Yes, I think the president has the bully pulpit. He can jawbone, and I think he should come out and say, this is an insane thing that we're doing. These need to be banned, and I call on Congress to pass bipartisan legislation ASAP right now. Get back in there, pass it, I'll sign it, and let's get these off the U.S. market for good.
All right, I have to end it there. John Fredericks, Basil's Michael, I'm sorry I
No,
kind of like it took up some of your time, but thank you so much for being with me.